great Wednesday, everyone. I am your host, Dr. Tara T. Stallings, and it is Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday is a segment of my Let's Talk Tara podcast, which views every fourth Saturday. So make sure you tune in this Saturday for our Let's Talk podcast. Here on Wisdom Wednesday, I share nuggets of wisdom that will, from all aspects of life, that will educate, empower, and inspire you to your next level of greatness. So make sure you tune in. Join me here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you're tuning in from every Wednesday. At Let's Talk Tara Live at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. I know I haven't been on in a couple of Wednesdays. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Wisdom Wednesday posts that I've been posting. So today I want to just talk. Let's talk about some things that I've noticed with people in general. I've talked about integrity before. I've talked about accountability before. But I've noticed that there's a cycle. Well, let me just share this with you. Everyone lives their life in a cycle, in different cycles. We're patternistic people. So we create cycles. Sometimes those cycles, those patterns, they're productive and they produce positive outcomes in our life. But so often there are unwanted cycles that people keep recreating, and they keep having a negative outcome. It's like that hamster on the hamster wheel. They keep reoccurring bad relationships with different people, different faces, different places. They keep reoccurring bad relationships and their bad decisions with their finances. They keep repeating the same bad cycles. And it's never the little things. It's not the big things that trip you up. It's always the little things. So today I want to talk to you about that little thing that nobody wants to deal with, and that's accountability. Accountability. If you're going to be successful in any aspect of life, you have to learn accountability. You have to become accountable to yourself. Accountability is simply a practice of being held to a certain standard of excellence. Held to a certain standard of excellence. Standard, not wavering, but a standard of excellence, meaning you have a standard not based on the person, place, or thing, or how you feel, but because you're going to do it, whether you like it, whether you feel like it or not. That's accountability. That is accountability. You have to be responsible for your own actions. Take responsibility. Stop blaming everybody else. If you're not accountable to yourself first, you will never feel in control of your destiny. You'll understand that things around you, they will always be on the downturn. You'll never learn how to get them on the upturn because you keep repeating those same cycles. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how talented you are, how gifted you are, how anointed you are, how many words of prophetic words of wisdom. If you don't have accountability, you will never, and I can use that word never, get off of that hamster wheel that you're on. You're going to keep repeating the cycles because with accountability comes self-discipline. Yes, When you become accountable to yourself, you develop self-discipline with yourself. And then guess what? Once you become self-disciplined and you have accountability, you start making better choices and you have better outcomes. The reason you keep getting what you're getting is because you're doing what you always did, because you're not accountable to a standard of excellence. You keep changing. You keep changing, or you keep repeating the same cycles, believing that it's going to be some different. And we call that insanity. We call that insanity. It's so many people that I come in contact with, and they sing the same song with a different tune. And the problem is they're not accountable, because you have to sacrifice to learn accountability. I'm not talking about this half-wit accountability that most people talk about. I mean accountability that's rooted in integrity and self-discipline, so that it doesn't matter how you feel, what you believe, what's going on. You do what's right because you have a standard of excellence. And then what I found is this: most people don't have a standard of excellence. So that's why it's hard for them to be accountable and self-disciplined, because they don't have a standard of excellence. And I share this quick story with you. I asked a question. I did a workshop, and I asked a young lady, do you have a standard? And this is the mindset of most people. They say, yes, I have a standard, but their standard is based on the situation. I'm gonna say that again. She said, yes, she has a standard, but her standard is based on the situation. So I said to her, so you don't have a standard. If your standard changes based on the situation, you don't have a standard. You don't have anything that you stand on. You don't have a belief system. If it changes, you don't have a standard of excellence if you always change what you believe based on how you feel, based on the environment, based on the circumstances. Because if you have a standard, your moral, your ethical, your spiritual standard does not change. It does not change based on a feeling, based on a circumstance. It does not change. You build a standard. You stand on it. And when you're able to stand on something, especially a standard of excellence that you create for your life, you become self-disciplined and you become accountable first to yourself. You cannot be accountable to anyone in your life if you are not accountable to yourself, for your own actions. What I've learned is this: is remember that it's never the big things, it's always the small things. And I just want to talk to you for a little bit. I just want to talk to you. If you don't hear anything else I say today, make sure you understand accountability starts with you. It begins with you. You can expect anyone to be accountable to you if you're not accountable to yourself. And I talk about the ping pong. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about that ping pong. You know, I'm rooted in kingdom. That's it. That is it. Kingdom works. I know it works. And what most people do, they play ping pong. And they're not accountable to themselves. And they play this game of ping pong. So, meaning when I say ping pong, they throw out bad habits. They plant seeds of discord. They're mean, they're nasty, they don't have a standard, they're not accountable, they don't have integrity, they don't keep their word. They pour it out, and guess what they get? They get all that stuff back because he's playing ping pong. Because whatever you give, you're going to get back in abundance. And we have not learned that. We want something different, but we still giving the same thing. Accountability. If you want your life to change, you have to do something different, period. And that's being accountable to a standard of excellence. It's not going to change if you don't change. If you don't be accountable to yourself, how in the world can you expect someone to be accountable to you? And the thing about accountability, it's going to cost you something. I don't know if you guys have remembered the story I shared when I was learning not accountability, but integrity. When I went through a season of learning integrity, and it sounds simple, but taking that cart back and putting that cart up at the grocery store, when you are picking something up on aisle 1, and now you're on aisle 10, and you decide that you don't want it, and you got to take it back to aisle 1, and you already at the checkout line. That's integrity. Doing what's right because it's right. Doing what's right, and accountability. Doing what's right when no one's watching. And see, the problems that I see is people live double lives. They portray to the public one thing, but in their personal life, they're not that person. So what you cause is a rift. You cause duality in I'm going to call it in the spirit realm. So now you two people, you a double-minded person. And so what happens is, because you're one person in the public, one person in private, they clash, they start lapping over. What happens in the private laps over in the present. Because usually what happens in the private, it laps over in the public. Because usually what happens in the public, it never laps over in the private. Because what you do in the private is the real you. So you have to learn accountability. So what you do privately for yourself, when nobody's looking, when nobody's there to pat you on the back, when nobody's there to make you feel loved or wanted, when nobody is boosting you up. When you do that, when you learn accountability, then what you do in the dark, the person you are operating in accountability and integrity and self-control, then the real you shows up in the public, and you stop playing ping pong with your life. You get off that hamster wheel of that unwanted cycle that you keep recreating. I learned this once in life. A long time ago in life, I learned this lesson. If everywhere you go, you have the same problem, it's not other people, it's you. I don't care if you new people, new city, if new job, if you keep having the same issues at the same job, it's not the other people. It's you. You're the problem. It's time for us. When I say us, people that say they want better in life, that say they're walking in kingdom, that say that they have a standard of excellence, to start living that what they say. Not giving lip service, but giving life service. I like that. Not giving lip service, but giving life service. Accountability. Let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about why you need to be accountable. When you're not accountable, you waste time. You find it difficult to achieve your goals. Who am I talking to? When you limit your confidence and your decision making, you don't get the results you're looking for because you're not accountable. You can't have a life of self-discipline because you're not accountable. You're not accountable. You lack vision. You can't stay on track because you're not accountable. You give up too easy. You give up too easy because you're not accountable. When you're accountable people understand when life gets tough, you get tougher. Because you're accountable to yourself, you're accountable to your goals, you're accountable to your dreams, you're accountable to your family, you're accountable to your spouse, and you get tougher and you do what you need to do to get the best positive outcome. Accountability. It's not the big things, it's the small things. This is Wisdom Wednesday, and this is your Wisdom Wednesday weapon. I am Dr. Tara T. Stallings, and please remember to join me every Wednesday here at Let's Talk Tara, noon Eastern Standard Time. If you're not already following me, make sure you follow me at Let's Talk Tara. You can go to my webpage at TaraTStallingsinc.com. We have some great workshops on breaking unwanted cycles started in August. I've had a lot of people that's been waiting on these workshops. I told you guys at the beginning of the year I have some great things coming out, and I've been working on them. So look forward to registering for these workshops. They're interactive. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have a great day.